Do you like Griselda? The whole Griselda tribe? Griselda's dope, bro.
Bro, I was listening to Griselda in 2016.
Yeah.
And I was telling my boys.
You caught it earlier, huh?
Oh, early, bro. It came on like a shuffle one day. And I was listening to Benny the Butcher first.
Yeah.
And I was like telling all my boys.
Bro.
Conway is my favorite out of the three. My issue with Conway is that I feel like he drops too many projects. Like within a year, he's dropped like 3 or 4 projects.
That's kind of impressive, though.
It's great. It's great. It's fucking amazing for someone who loves to like listen to rap and like, you know, that's all I listen to when I'm at the gym or on the way home, whatever.
That shit makes me not want to go to Buffalo.
That right?
That shit, man, I'm like, bro, that's too gritty. Like, you know what I mean? Like, fucking Conductor's killing all them beats, bro.
Whenever Conductor and Drake made that, 8 p.m. in Charlotte, I was like, fuck, dude. And then he had Alchemist on that Scary Hours Part 4.
Yeah,
that's the Drake that I feel.
I wonder
like
how he felt about Alchemist doing Meet the Grams.
Alchemist fucks with everybody though, man. He's been
you don't think he's gonna use it against him? You don't think he's gonna be like, bro, you might about my fake daughter, bro?
Drake he's a sensitive guy. I mean, his raps tell it. His music tells it.
He's sensitive as fuck.
He's sensitive, so he might take offense to it. He might.
I still think Drake simultaneously has some of the funniest lines that I've ever heard.
Yeah.
And while also having some of the most that's the most bitch shit that I've ever heard in my life, bro. Like Marvin's Room, I think is the biggest bitch song.
But it was a fucking hit.
It was, but it just even when it was out, I'm like, imagine laying next to your girl. And just imagine laying next to your girl, and she gets a call from her ex at 3 a.m. and the only thing that he sees she because you guys have a healthy relationship, so she plays the voicemail.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is this dude calling me for right now? Haven't seen this dude in months, and like, I'm just saying you could do better. Like, bro. Clown shit, bro. Like, you would look at your girl like, is he serious right now? Like, he's the ultimate, like, he just left the strip club too. Like, it's just like, you're just like, that's the most bitch shit ever, bro. Like,
that's
you know what I mean?
Simping on a whole other level.
A whole other level.
I remember when
even to say that, like, I would never call my ex, even if I felt that. Yeah. I would never call her knowing that she's laying next to dude, and then be like, I'm just saying you could do it better. Like, bro, what? If you don't hang up the fucking phone right now, dude. If you don't fucking go to IHOP and get fucking sober up, like, what the fuck are you doing? Go to Waffle House. Like, it's the ultimate. Like, for me, I'm like, bro, this is simping. It's just so crazy, bro.
That's a different level of simping. 100%.
Yeah, but he also has like when him and 21 came out with Major Distribution.
Oh, wow.
That line, I showed it to you, right? Like, that line that he has where he's all like, you say I'm persuasive, but you can't spell that shit for real. Oh. I'm like, oh, bro, that's so good. That's so good. I love that shit. I'm like, bro, I wish I could. I got a girl, but man, if I was on some fuck shit, I would love to say that to like the like fucking random hoes I'm fucking with, bro. I'd like, especially if it was true. I'm like, damn, dog. Like, that's the kind of bitches Drake is fucking with. That they're trying to get the Wi-Fi password, and he's like, you can't even spell that shit. Like, imagine, bro. That shit's crazy. That shit made me laugh the first time I heard it.
I can admit that Drake has both like really corny lines that are just cornball and goof on like a whole different level.
Goofy.
And then there's some bars where I'm like, damn, that was hard.
Yeah,
like
there's some bars that are hard,
during
bro.
Push-ups when he flipped the Michael Jackson Prince thing.
Oh yeah, what's a prince to a king?
Yeah. Yeah.
I liked on Family Matters when he goes, I did the Kim to it just to skim through it.
Oh,
I was like, oh, that's fire, dude. That's fucking fire. Yeah. I was like, that was it, because it's so quick. It's so quick, and it like leaves you so quick. I did the Kim to it just to skim through it. I'm like, oh man, that was clever.
Kendrick made the smart move on dropping right after. Yeah. Because if people had really sat there and like let that song kind of sink in and really listen to it, the song's
good.
That song ends any other rapper.
That song is good.
But Kendrick is different. Like, that's my whole thing is like, I don't think either person walks off as a winner. I think they both have scars from the battle. I think they both have now questionable allegations because they dug up a lot of shit on Kendrick. Mm-hmm. They pulled up old interviews from, from the alleged, beating of his wife. And then they pulled up a lot of questionable shit. So, they leave. I don't think anyone won, in my honest opinion. And that's just...
I mean, from here, I don't think their bag is affected either, though.
Oh,
although I do think that if Kendrick drops within the month, like an album...
That'd be the smartest thing.
That'd be the smart... He would be number one immediately.
Yeah,
100%. And then especially if he... Instead of being Lyrical Miracle, let me talk about, some deep shit.
Yeah.
Just makes, Damn again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Damn was a great album.
Man, I think it'll be off the... Yeah. I think we talk about that all year. I think we talk about him all year.
And if he throws in some jabs at Drake at the same time, that's... Yeah.
I don't even think that's necessary.
It would be funny.
I think if he references the beef, but not Drake.
Okay.
I think if he references bro, just walked out of this, blah blah blah, you know what I mean? Yeah. But doesn't talk about him anymore. I think it does the job just fine. But if he can drop another Damn kind of album, we talk about him all year. Yeah. We talk about him all year for sure.
The funniest thing that came out of this was Kendrick and Drake, not Kendrick, Cole and Drake saying he doesn't have any classics. I was like,
that's rough,
come on, bro.
That's rough. That's rough. I mean, but even Kendrick said that about Drake, that he doesn't have any classics. And I'm just that's rough too.
I think that's just a general
that's rough too.
You don't have no classics. But when in reality, they both have
two
or three classics.
I was part of the group that believed that for a long time that Drake didn't have any classics.
That's crazy.
But it's because I'm thinking about... This goes back to the culture thing. This is why Kendrick's angle is so amazing. I think Drake has classics because there was a whole bunch of people that are not from black culture that fucked with that music heavy.
Okay.
I think Drake doesn't have any classics for black culture. Does that make sense? And I always look through hip hop through black culture. So when I think about So Far Gone, and when I think about maybe even Take Care and Nothing Was the Same, I'm like, oh, these might be classics, but they might be classics because suburban whites was listening to this shit, heavy. You know what I mean? People that idolize black culture, but black people as a whole. I'm black people fuck with Drake, but I'm just saying as a whole, does Drake have a Reasonable Doubt where the black community was we're championing this shit?
For sure.
Does Drake have a Good Kid, Mad City where again you have this championing of this is our story? He doesn't have that.
Yeah.
He has fuckboy anthems. He has fuckboy albums.
That's all his music.
He has albums for the guys that are I just like bitches. Yeah. And I'm confused about whether I want to be a dependable man or not.
Yeah.
And because I can't help because I love strippers. That's his bag, you know? So if you go in that route, I'm oh yeah, he's got classics. He's got undeniable albums that people went crazy for. So yeah, in that sense, he's got classics. But black culture, does he have classics? That's where I'm ooh, I kind of get it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I kind of understand the sentiment, whereas UGK got classics. 100%. Outkast got classics.
100%.
White people don't have to fuck with Outkast for Outkast to have classics. Yeah. You know what I mean? So Southern play, I always forget about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Drake can't do that. Drake needs white people for him to have classics. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, but it is a conversation that probably needs to be had amongst people that want to have it. I don't really care to have it, but I've now since leaned on he's got classics.
Yeah.
But they're classics for a very specific reason.
I don't think I ever thought of it in that way. I viewed it more as you can go by charts, right? And you can look at the charts and see every one of his albums has been on the charts for fucking hundreds of consecutive weeks, right?
Yeah.
Consider
still,
that classic. Yeah.
To this day,
still. But if you're looking at it in that perspective, Yeah, that's something I hadn't thought about.
Yeah.
Mainly because
think about Food and Liquor. Like Lupe Fiasco's got a undeniable classic.
Yeah.
Food and Liquor is a classic album.
Sure.
Mobb Deep, Infamous is a classic album. Nas, It Was Written. It's a classic album. I'm sorry, not It Was Written. Oh, I mean, I think It Was Written. It was a classic album. But Illmatic, like, not it's a classic album. He doesn't. Those albums don't need anybody but the black community to think they're classics for them to be classics. The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, classic. Yeah. Sade's albums, classics. Right, like a good portion of them, and they don't need anybody but black people for them to be classics.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And if any other person says, I don't know, I kind of don't like this, black people will be like, you tripping? That's a classic album. Yeah. We bumping this, right? You know what I mean?
That's essentially the take that hip hop Twitter has. Always kind of had is that, you know, it doesn't really matter if it's not a classic to you, but this was like
this is for us.
This is for us. And so I think that's why Not Like Us was such a hit.
Because and the West Coast needed one.
Yeah.
And the West Coast they haven't had that kind of a hit for a minute.
Yeah.
The West Coast needed that.
You know who dropped a good album this year was Schoolboy Q.
Schoolboy had the great album.
I think that was in conversation before Future dropped his We Don't Trust You.
Yeah.
I think that second half, that We Still Don't Trust You, I don't think that was a good album. I think that We Don't Trust You was like from top to bottom like fucking great.
We Don't Trust You was pretty dope.
Yeah, We Don't Trust You was such a great, but Schoolboy Q had such a great album.
God, Schoolboy fucking was killing that shit, bro.
Schoolboy Mute, man. I started listening to him at the same time.
My Delete Later was great.
My Delete Later. See, my thing with
minus
Cole,
7 minutes, like My Delete Later was great.
It was great. I think my thing with Cole is that like he doesn't have the like replay value, right? Like,
a lot of people say that about him.
Like I'm not gonna go and put like For Your Eyes Only or like
For Your Eyes Only is probably his least acclaimed one.
Born Sinner was the name of the album, right? No,
Born Sinner
that was a great album. One. Yeah, that was a great album. But I can't go back and listen to like any of his new stuff. Like My Delete Later might be the only thing that I've listened to him in repeat.
Trey the Truth and Ibiza is amazing.
Yeah. KOD was good, but it was like a moment. The Off Season was a great album.
Off Season was that
there's
good.
like